Hey, it's Tuesday, June 26th, 2001, and I don't know what to say. And the big show continues. It's Chris from Stabbing Westward. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm great.
Peachy Keen.
Yeah, Peachy Keen. You just won me over now. Say, you were just telling me you got to meet David Bowie once. What was that like?
It was awesome.
I'm a huge fan of Bowie.
He opened for me one time.
No.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of horseshit.
No, it's kind of true. Placebo was opening for us on tour, and David Bowie got up and sang the T-Rex song, 21st Century Man.
Oh, really?
With Placebo in New York.
Wow.
So in a weird, bizarre way, Bowie opened for me.
What's your favorite David Bowie song?
Wow. On the pop side, Little China Girl, because I have a Chinese girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Everything from Ziggy's great.
Right, yeah.
It's hard to say.
I love Modern Love. I love the opening to Modern Love.
It's just there's so many different David Bowies. It's hard to.
Yeah, that's true.
You'd have to almost say from each era.
He's all over the place. Hey, you got a new record out.
Mm-hmm.
It's self-titled.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. A lot of people seem to be doing that. I hear the new Sugar Ray album's going to be self-titled too.
Is it? That's cool.
Yeah. So.
Sometimes it's like just the title really gives people like the wrong idea about a record, or the right idea. Like Darkest Days, our last record, very very dark record. Wither, Blister, Burn, and Peel. The title was much darker than the actual record, and we're trying to really sort of steer people away from the image they have of us of being so dark and so heavy. So by not, when you have a name like Stabbing Westward, it's heavy enough on its own without putting even more evil words behind it. So
Yeah, but the cover of the new album, it's like, it kind of freaked me out.
it's either freaky or sexy, depending on what you consider sexy.
I suppose.
I personally find it freaky.
It is freaky. It just seems to kind of. You said you're trying to get away from that, but it kind of also just kind of puts it right back where it was.
Yeah,
in some
kind
ways.
of.
I don't know.
Weird, but we just find cool artists and let them just do their job and have fun with their art rather than dictate too much to them. And that's what they came up with. And we're like, okay.
Have you gotten any like weird artist renderings for album covers that are like, whoa, this is completely psychotic?
Yeah, we get a lot of weird, bizarre stuff. A lot of our fans are really talented, like graphic artists
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, and so they're always doing like mock-ups for singles and stuff like that for us. Some are really beautiful, and some are just way out there.
Now, speaking of kind of a new sound, you kind of, basically have kind of a more commercial, is that a bad word?
I don't know.
A commercial sound on the new record.
It's finely honed. We normally would write however many songs are on the record, anywhere from 10 to 16, and those would be the songs that we put on the record. This year we wrote over 40. We lost count, and we chose the 10 strongest. And I think when you write, we really try to hone in on writing the best songs possible and the strongest melodies and stuff like that. And I think the word pop comes into play, not like in a Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears kind of way, but in a 80s Echo and the Bunnymen kind of Duran Duran kind of quality way, where it's like just sort of still dark and moody, but just kind of hooky at the same time. And we seem to have gotten rid of a lot of the musical qualities that seem to keep the listener from actually feeling part of the music.
Right.
The sonic razor wire of industrial metal that sort of makes it so hard to listen to that your average non-industrial metal person can't really hear past all that noise to get to what the melodies are and the words are. And as a singer, I was getting frustrated going, you know what? People who I want to listen to me aren't listening to me because the guitars are distorted too much, or because of these, drum loops, or because of some, you guys want to put some space shuttle noise in here, and it's like, you know what, how about it's about the vocals and it's about the music for a while. And
Right.
everyone, I think everyone's kind of grown up a little bit in our band, and the gimmick of industrial music has sort of bored us a little bit. So it's more about the songs now.
But the industrial music, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, sometimes I can't. I talked to a band like Static X a couple of weeks ago, and it's definitely weird. But I mean, sometimes there's a hook in it, and but with some of your previous stuff, I mean, there's been a lot of good hooks in it.
Well, I mean, one of the weird things is that we never considered ourselves an industrial metal band. If you read back on the interviews we've done for the last 8 years, I'm always backpedaling from that title. That was a phrase that was sort of pushed on us by our record label, Columbia, and then embraced by a lot of the media as well. Plus our, affiliation musically and personally with Nine Inch Nails didn't help either. But it was something that I was never really particularly drawn to. I mean, maybe when I was 20, but I don't know. It was a weird thing that's been sort of hanging around our head for a long time, and now we've finally musically been able to get rid of it. But it's now we're the band that used to be that. But we never were. You listen to a song like "What Do I Have to Do,"
right.
And to me, it's much more of like a Depeche Mode kind of synth pop. There's always those pop aspects in our music. It's just they were always hidden behind these layers of noise, and we just stripped off the layers. And
right. I love Shame.
Shame's a great song.
My favorite.
We do this version of Shame live now that has no synths and no. It has some keyboards, but it doesn't have the click track and the driving, pulsing industrial stuff behind it. It's just basically guitar, bass, drums, vocals. And it's so emotional. And when it hits in the chorus, it hits like just a ton of bricks. And it's actually much heavier when it's not industrial, when it's just really emotional rock. It's pretty cool.
How have the fans reacted? I mean, have you personally interacted with a lot of the fans? And
yeah, I'm hanging outside the bus every night after every show.
What are they saying about the record?
It's about 70-30 right now. It seems like the people who are coming to the shows and seeing us play are the people who weren't so turned off by the new music that it offended them to the point that they hate us. And then when they see the live show, I think it really pulls them back in, because when you see me singing these songs and the old songs together, it really makes sense. It really comes together as a natural evolution of the band. It's the people that are really stuck in the sort of industrial metal genre that, are bitter about us changing styles. And, you think of how many records we've sold in the past, and how many of those people were drawn to What Do I Have to Do and Shame and Save Yourself, the pop music of the records. The majority of our fans are still with us. The majority of our fans are people who heard us on the radio or saw us on MTV, and those are the same kinds of fans we're reaching out to now in the same way. So, I mean, the ones we've lost, I feel badly about, but they're in a place in their lives where they want to just keep being miserable and keep listening to the same dark, miserable music. And, Marilyn Manson's still pumping out those records, and there's a lot of new heavy bands like Static X that are doing it. So they've got places they can go to hear music, so it's not like we abandon them to nothingness. And there's lots of people that want to hear what we're doing now, so it's all good, As long as they're not mad at me personally, that's all. Like, don't take it personally. I'm just, making my art the way I see it. It's not an attack against you or your way of life. This is just my life now.
Right. A lot of people like that, though. I mean, a lot of people love. I mean, I'd love, like, if Van Halen reformed with David Lee Roth, if they made like an album like Van Halen one again. But it's not going to happen.
Right.
But because you wouldn't
but
want
if they just kept making Van Halen 1 over and over and over again, it would suck.
Right, it would.
But they've evolved, They went through that, then they went to Jump, and then they, did the really bad stuff after that. But, they did evolve, and then if they went back and re-embraced their roots, that would be really cool. And if in 10 years we went back and, I would never want to go all the way back to On God, but if we went back to What Do I Have to Do, and did sort of that sort of, then it would be nostalgic. It would be cool. But to do it now would just be so last decade. It would just be old,
Right.
Like, art to me is something that is like a big circle. You should continually grow and expand and get better at it. And if you get good at writing a song, you should get better the next time you write a song. You should get better at singing, and you should explore new territory. And it's like, if you're just doing the same thing over and over again to please your fans, and you're just doing it to make money. You're not doing it to be creative, and I don't make any money, so I do it just to be creative.
Hey, whatever happened with? I read a little bit on the website that Bob Rock was supposed to produce the new record, but then that whole Sony Columbia thing went down, and he ended up on Koch Entertainment.
Yeah, the word serendipity comes to mind. All sorts of weird things happen at the same time that led us to the path we're on now, which fortunately enough feels like the right path. We were going to work with Bob Rock on the first 10 songs we wrote for the new record, which sounded like an extension of Darkest Days with a couple of really weird pop songs tossed in.
Mm-hmm.
It would have made a very bizarre, schizophrenic record with the record label not understanding the new direction, pushing us to write the same old music we've always written so they could get another Save Yourself on the radio and sell another 500,000 records. As much as I respect Bob Rock and would really want to work with him in the future, I was so not excited about working with Bob Rock because I knew that he really wanted to make another Stabbing Westward record similar to the 3 we'd already done.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He was a fan of you guys from that?
He was a fan, and he'd never really gotten to do that kind of a record.
Oh, okay.
He'd worked with the Econoline Crush in the very recent past and had sort of gotten a taste for the electronic industrial thing and really wanted to explore it. And we wanted to use Bob Rock to make a rock record. And so we weren't going to get out of him what we were looking for. And the same exact thing happened with Dave Jordan. We desperately wanted to make a very organic Jane's Addiction, Alice in Chains type record. And then we discovered after hiring Dave Jordan that he really wanted to make a Nine Inch Nails Stabbing Westward record. So we didn't get out of him what we wanted. He got out of us what he wanted. And fortunately enough, Sony dropped us the day before we were supposed to go to Hawaii and work with Bob Rock on those 10 songs, 8 of which have never seen the light of day, which gave us the opportunity to, A, not have the pressure of Sony making us be the same band over and over again, gave us the freedom to write the record we really wanted to and explore some new territory, and hooked us up with Ed Buller, who changed our lives musically by throwing our computers out of the window. So it was all serendipity. It was wonderful. Terrifying, but wonderful.
How's the experience been on the new label?
It's awesome. I mean, I really cannot speak highly enough of Koch. They have enough money to let us do what we need to do and to get done what needs to get done, but they're not like NASA, where a hammer costs $60,000, you know? So you can do something, you can say, hey, I want to do a poster, or hey, I want to... Like yesterday, we went in and did a really cool, trippy acoustic version of So Far Away that we've been playing live on the radio and stuff, and we thought, you know, we really want to record this. Can we go in a studio and do it? And they said, go. They just gave us the money to do it, and we did it, you know, low budge, and it's all good. It's like about music. It's not about big industry, and there's not a 67-story building on Madison Avenue with 5,000 offices, and everyone has an assistant. And in order to get to anybody, you have to call their assistant's on the 42nd floor. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was just nuts. I mean, I didn't even know anybody that worked at Columbia anymore because all the people that worked there when we got signed had all left to other labels. It's like musical chairs. The guy who signed us works at Koch. And so when he heard we got dropped from Columbia, he's like, why don't you come over here? It's really mellow. It's really cool. We made billions of dollars off of Pokemon and WWF soundtracks, and we'll just, you know, give you guys enough money to make a record, give you enough money to go on tour, and let you do what you do. It's awesome, you know. And the first week that our record came out, it was the most records we've ever sold in a week, and we beat any Sony week that we ever had. And that, to me, is right there, proof in the pudding that an independent label can sell as well as a major. I mean, Creed, my God, Creed's a perfect example. So anyone thinking about signing to a major should seriously consider looking at an indie first, instead of musical freedom.
Yeah, Wind Up Records has done quite well.
You think?
Holy cow!
Yeah, I mean they did that out of their house.
Right. Speaking of being on the road, you're on tour with The Cult and Monster Magnet.
In 2 days.
In 2 days?
Yeah, we're 2 days away from that.
Right. Were you a big fan of The Cult growing up?
I played Rain and I played She Sells Sanctuary in our first cover band.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Still don't know the words, but man, I could howl. Shotgun Mama. You know? She Sells Sanctuary, I think, was my first guitar riff.
Really?
Yep.
Do they put on? I've never seen them live. I've never seen any hint of seeing them live.
I never saw them live when I was a kid.
Do they put on a hell of a good show? Or have you seen them live?
I saw them in Boston a week ago. We played a festival in Boston with them. And yes, they do. They rock. And Ian looks great, sounds great. Was wearing a kind of bizarre outfit, but he worked it. You know, if you can wear a bizarre outfit and be cool in it, more power to you. And they sounded great, and it was really high energy. And the thing I really respect about it is that they're playing a lot of new music, and I think they're very aware of the fact that a lot of today's kids don't know necessarily their past any more than a lot of kids today know who Aerosmith was.
Right.
You know, a lot of kids love Aerosmith and don't even know it Toys in the Attic car. So it's like, you know, kind of cool. That's an Aerosmith record, right?
Toys in the Attic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, God, I was suddenly terrified it was something else. You know what I mean, though? I think it's cool that the Cult is, like, putting out a new record and being a band. They're not relying on, like, the Sex Pistols going out and touring on a 20-year-old record.
Right.
They're like, we're a new band, we're a new record. We're not a new band, but we're a band. This is our record. We're going to go out and we're going to tour. I think that's awesome.
All right. Well, I appreciate the time.
Cool. Is that all you needed?
Yeah, that's all I need.
Cool. Thank you.
Good luck with the record.
Thank you.
And have a great day.
Every time that I touch you, you feel so far away. And every time that you need me, I feel so far away.
Hey, and a big thanks goes out to Chris from Stabbing Westward right here on the Juggernaut of Love, a.k.a. MadBlast.com. Make sure you go out and pick up the brand new Stabbing Westward CD available. It's actually self-titled, Stabbing Westward, Stabbing Westward. And, of course, the brand new single is So Far Away, a song that I'm digging on these days. I like that song. It's a very cool song in my humble opinion, you know. And if you don't know me, I never lie, you know. I tell it the way it is. At least I try to, you know. I may sugarcoat things a little bit, but, you know, if I say I like something, I mean it, you know, and if I don't say something, well, you know, I probably don't like it. But I dig that brand new single from Stabbing Westward. It was a good time talking to Chris. Of course, the record, as I mentioned, available at your favorite online e-tailer or in your favorite record stores nationwide, worldwide, no doubt. And then, of course, the official StabbingWestward.com website is StabbingWestward.com. I'll post a link to it at MadBlast.com. Make sure you swing on by, check out all the tour dates for Chris and the guys on the Monster Magnet and also the Cult Tour. So there you go. You get Monster Magnet opening the show, then you get Stabbing Westward coming on to bring down the house, and then you get Ian Astbury of the Cult and the rest of the guys. Is Billy Duffy still in the Cult? I'm not sure, but that's a great band. That was one of those great bands from the 80s. Glad to see that they're coming back and they're doing it up in style once again. So hey, all right. Hey, what's going on at MadBlast today? Got some kind of cool new fun flash there. The one from yesterday I think was really funny. If it's called, I think, Samples. No, it's He Who Laughs Last. Make sure you check that out. It's funny if you like kind of naughty types of comedy in your flash. And then also actually today's make sure you send today's fun flash, which is called What Size Does Matter. You know, and as a guy with a little wiener, you know, it's kind of hard to post that. But still, you know, I do my best, and you know, I don't know. So, I was talking about the hot dog I'm eating right now. I don't know what you thought I was talking about, but no, that's funny too. Make sure you send that to all your male friends. They'll no doubt not appreciate it, but that's the whole point in sending them, right? So there you go. Hey, we should run down a little bit on what's new out on. What am I trying to say? What's just come out on? I can't even talk. What's come out on in music today? You know, every Tuesday, of course, in music there is brand new stuff that comes out, and it's always interesting to me, you know, to check it out. And today looks like the biggest new arrival it seems to be, is a country band. Lone Star. That's right, Lone Star. I'm already there. Actually, we got a little, if you do a search on MadBlast, there's a pictorial of Lone Star, though if you're a Stabbing Westward fan, the odds of you being a Lone Star fan are probably pretty remote, huh? Also, let's see, brand new music out today from Patty Loveless, another country superstar, Basement Jaxx, Sarah McLachlan, a remixed import, and then finally Air Supply is back. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Here I am, the one that you love, asking for another chance or something like that. So those are basically the big 5 albums in stores today, in case you're curious. And of course, if you're curious what's new on home video and DVD, just swing on by MadBlast.com and check out that little feature. Hey, dude, where's my car? So there you go. All right, let's wrap it up. Big show in the book for, what is it? Hey, June 26, 2001. Have yourself a wonderful night. I'll see you back here tomorrow with Sean Martin from Stop to talk video games. Thursday, Our Lady Peace. Friday, Movies with Ollie. Monday, Slash from from Slash's Snake Pit, formerly of Guns N' Roses. And then on Tuesday, John Tesh, who I had a lot of fun talking to. Reminds me of a good friend of mine. Well, maybe not a good friend of mine, but a guy I know. And I'll reveal that on Tuesday. So there you go. All right. And then, of course, Wednesday, 4th of July. Bada bing, a bada boom, a bada bang. Yeah. All right. Catch you later.
Sign up at showbizblast.com to get eUniverse Live delivered to your mailbox each and every weekday. If you have comments, questions, or suggestions, email us at feedback@eUniverseLive.com. Any reproduction or rebroadcast of this program without the prior written consent of eUniverse is strictly prohibited. eUniverse Live is a production of the eUniverse Network.
You haven't lost your touch.